Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Digital Quill Podcast. This is the first informal video podcast of the Digital Quill with your host, Mars Wilson. Hi, that is me. I am Mars Wilson. So, I have a few things that I wanted to go over today. Mainly, I'm just kind of doing this to get a feel for the beginning stages of everything that comes to podcasting and getting ready to just be a part of my goals and be accountable for those things that I've set years ago. So yes, welcome, hello, and hopefully this goes well because I've been running into some issues, not a lot of issues, and this is just going to breed new issues and also new learning opportunities. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to have to get used to the fact that there's a camera right in front of me, so I don't like making eye contact. Not my favorite. So, yep, here we are. You're looking at me and I'm not looking at you. Earlier I was recording this and I had a better momentum going, I think. Probably not, actually. I had about the same energy level. There's been a lot going on and not even therapy can help. So I kind of have to do a lot of different things, and it's just mentally and emotionally and somewhat physically draining. So, yep, I have to deal with things. Yay. Earlier, before the power shut off, maintenance interrupted, and just other things, I was talking about imposter syndrome. And one of the things that I want to show you guys is this. So, this story is from 3 years ago. And here lately, I've been kind of struggling a bit, minus the other stuff that I'm now dealing with on top of that. But I've been wondering, are the things I'm saying keep going, humans of Earth, and I don't know, just all of the other motivational stuff I've been trying to grasp onto and hold on to, the whole keep going, the whole I'm proud of you, I believe in you, I'm thank you for being here, all of that stuff, you've seen it. I've been wondering, is that actually, do I actually believe that? And or is that just something new that I've been talking about? And I saw this story from 3 years ago and I was like, oh, I guess I have been saying I'm glad you're here a lot. I guess I have said that before, and maybe I do mean that. So, I looked up the definition of imposter syndrome, and I want to share it with you. So, imposter syndrome, also known as imposter phenomenon, is a behavioral health issue that causes people to doubt their skills, accomplishments, and intellect. It can manifest as a persistent feeling of self-doubt and fear of being exposed as a fraud. People with imposter syndrome may believe they are undeserving of their achievements and the high regard they receive. In relationships, it can lead to the feelings of being unworthy of love and affection. Alternatively, and also additionally, imposter syndrome is also sometimes referred to as impostorism, the imposter phenomenon, or having a fraud complex. It was first coined in the 70s, I have not fact-checked that, to describe people who inwardly felt as though they had faked their achievements, attributing their success to luck, being likable, or other factors unrelated to their knowledge or skills. I can't say that I never not feel weird. Because sometimes I do. It's like, I don't know, an example of this, like, the self-doubt is crazy. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it, honestly. I had like such a verbal vomit earlier that I just don't know how to like explain it right now. 'Cause it's like, how can you just believe that you are faking this? Like, how can you sit there and be like, oh yeah, there's no way I actually believe the things I'm saying, right? Like, I'm glad you're here, right? There's no way I'm actually kind, right? And that's the problem with imposter syndrome. I feel like sometimes you delude yourself into believing you're not worthy, believing that you aren't actually the person you perceive yourself to be. Even more so, and it's probably relatable on some level if you have this, I've had to ask my friends and other people this, and I always feel weird because, like, logically and emotionally, I should be deserving of things, right? Like, at some point, we do things that are deserving of praise, and I don't know, like, how is it that you're able to, like, gaslight yourself into believing you're less than? I've never gotten that. I don't know how I can do it, yet I do it with such ease. I've seen other people do it, and then I, like, recognize that I'm doing it, and I'm like, we can't stop, can we? Even the awareness of it, like, we can't stop feeling like imposters, can we? The amount of times I've thought I've manipulated myself into even making myself and other people around me think I'm a good person, like, no, you actually do care about people, don't do that to yourself. And then, you immediately follow up with, but do I? I think part of that is having to rewire your mindset and not allow yourself to fall back into prior patterns. But imposter syndrome is such a tricky thing. I need to study it in other people more, so if you have it, please, by all means, in the comments of whatever streaming service you're watching this on, I don't know, just say yes, say yay, all in favor. Who has imposter syndrome, say aye. But do you actually have imposter syndrome? I want to apologize about the very first or the very last episode. I know some people aren't a fan of April Fools, and I have to be honest, I'm not really either. Like, I know in the last episode, in the Fools episode, I explained to find, like, joy in, like, the little things, and, why be so serious all the time? But so I do and I don't love April Fools. I love that people have fun, and I love that people talk about jokes and, like, do fun pranks, not hurtful pranks. But I also don't like it because it is chaos, and a lot of it isn't, like, kind pranks and stuff. And Yes, I am sorry about that episode. I mainly just wanted to join in on the chaos because, as I mentioned, like, Spotify was in on it, freaking, um, the Cheetos was in on it, my entire Facebook, just everything was doing April Fool's things, and I'm like, I need to join this because I'm not going to be able to beat it. Like, if you can't beat it, and I can't beat April Fools, I can't get rid of it. I can't tell people to stop making jokes, which would be mean anyway, but I can't do that, so I joined it, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for joining the thing I can't beat. Hello, cat. The second thing I kind of wanted to show you guys today was this. So, let me get to it actually before I switch the screen. And here we go. I think. Here we go. There we go. So, here we can see the coming soon, December 5th, 2021. This was the very first Substack post when this was just the Digital Quill Press. I would open these up, but they are very minimal and they don't matter. If you end up with a subscription, you'll end up seeing, or a paid subscription, you'll end up seeing them. This was one of my very first movie reviews before I created this. I ended up splitting this one into the separate blogs: food, entertainment, creative. I'm pretty sure I actually started with the creative and the original, and then I switched it to all of the above. But yeah, February 22nd, 2022. I've definitely been putting some time into this, and sometimes it surprises me because I'll go back and I'll be like, when did I actually start working on this? And I'll be like, oh, December of 21. Wow. See, there are some things I promised myself I would do that I'm now getting to around the time I said I would. Check it out. This is when I first was talking about Spotify. I didn't want to put things behind a paywall, so that's why everything starts out initially as free and then goes into a paywall. But also, if I ever want to make any of this my career, I kind of have to be comfortable or get comfortable with being paid for it, and also putting things behind paywalls to help with being paid for it. And it took me a lot of talking myself through it to put things behind that paywall. Let's see. Go here. Actually, we'll deal with that in a moment. I wanted to read one of the articles out loud that are paywalled, but I just don't have the mental or physical energy, and I still want to kind of just mess around with the settings and figure out exactly what I'm doing and how to not get YouTube to upload two different versions of the podcast, because I get it, there's an audio feed and a video feed now, but I don't need two versions uploaded to my fucking YouTube channel. Just upload the one. Upload this version, which, speaking of the last week's thing, check it out. Last week's episode, I am using this as this week's background because I didn't know what to put behind me, and I didn't want it to just be blank, so that's what's back there. Let me work on grabbing what I wanted to show you. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. I don't think that one should be paid, considering it talks about the unsealed. Yeah. Okay. Check it out here, guys. I'm gonna put this one as unpaid, and actually I'll just do that right now so I don't forget. Yes, you guys get to see the background on how editing on Substack works, in case no one has ever gone over this with you. Oh, older than 3 months. Haha, that's it, guys. Posts that are older than 3 months will get paywalled. Wow, that's actually a pretty good thing. So free people have 3 months to finish reading a post. I think that's enough time to finish reading a 5-minute post. Update now. I did not see that at the bottom. I should have. I'm not paying attention to anything right now. Excuse me. That moment when a kitten cat decides it wants to be a pain in the butt. Wait a second. Where did that even go? Okay. There it is. I'm so confused at the moment. Okay, whatever. I had it and now it's gone, but here it is. So here is this. This is actually a book I'm published in, by the way, along with, like, I can't remember, is it 100 other authors? I don't know. I'm blanking on the amount of authors, but there are other authors in this book, and I just think that is so freaking cool to be put in with so many other voices. Originally, I wanted to be published in a magazine when I was younger, but when I was younger, magazines were on their way out. So, yeah. I don't usually make posts on Fridays unless I missed Thursday, but Oh yeah, this I did not complete, by the way, but I have been writing every day because of that challenge, so I'm gonna call that a win. That is a win. But you guys don't really care about prior posts at the moment, considering I didn't really prepare a prior post to write about or speak about. I did not prepare a prior post to speak about. So, my bad. I also didn't really pre-plan a amount of time that I was going to record this, so I kind of feel like it's coming to a good end. Talked about imposter syndrome, talked about the little bit of why I originally wanted to start the audio version of the podcast, which is to talk about the paywalled posts, because nobody really reads anymore, since none of us have the time to read anymore, but we do have the time to listen to someone in our ear, so we can do that. Accessibility. Yay. Anyway, we also talked about just a few other things. I am so tired. so tired. The weather heating up and being in the 90s all week does not make me happy or help, but on we forward, or on we trek. On we trek forward. Oh, couple of things before we end today. I am holding my first episodes with guests in May. Consequently, around the same time, I will be finishing up the book. A lot of stress is on my shoulders on that one. I'm trying to do this with no stress. Trying to go in it with minimal amount of stress so I can just do it and finish it. But I know me, and I know that's not going to remain the case. So keep going, humans of Earth. We've got this. I think. If you've seen my recent TikToks lately, I'm sorry. They will be turned into YouTube shorts soon. I've actually found that I was able to do that I can turn TikTok shorts into YouTube shorts, which I know, okay? I should have figured that out when I've seen the same videos from TikTok on YouTube and vice versa. I just didn't really care to think about it. Internet magic, yay! So yes, if you've seen my recent TikToks, I'm sorry. It's not they're not the happy motivational ones that they've normally been, and I'm sorry. I will get back to those eventually. Right now, you get me existing and telling you good morning and that you're going to have a good day. For now. That's what we get. No affirmations unless they're repeats. I'm kidding. I'll work on that. But yes. So, thank you for joining me today on the first informal video episode of the Digital Quill Podcast. I hope you've, enjoyed this episode today and it brought some entertainment or education on some level. Maybe you felt related to because of the imposter syndrome, and if that is the case, I'm sorry. I hope there are other things you relate to in this episode. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And I do, in fact, have a few of those. Not sure how, but I do. You are not an imposter, Mars, just because you want people to have the best day of their lives. You are not an imposter just because you want people to smile. It is perfectly normal and adequate that you want that. Me self-coaching. Don't do what I do, kids. But yes, thank you for tuning into this episode today. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for being you. And feel free to do any or all of the internet things like comment, share, follow, repost, restack, retweet. I don't know. Just all the internet things or none of them. It's kind of up to you. And let's see. First guest episodes in May while writing the book, imposter syndrome, I think I've covered everything, so we're good. We are A-okay. Alright. As always, humans of Earth, it is an absolute miracle that we are alive and we can experience connection this way, so thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for being with your fellow human, and I will see you next time. Keep going, humans of Earth. I'm proud of you for existing.